Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle, an Odyssey station.
I heard that. I was like, ooh, fancy.
Well, we're fancy, aren't we? Well, that's big news today. And literally, because people don't want me spoiling secrets, I did find out today.
Yes. Like, just a few hours ago.
So you're like, okay, what do you mean an Odyssey station? What's going on? Is everything okay, you guys? Because look, in our business, sometimes, when you hear a new name, you go, oh, wow, did a new company acquire you? Right. Or is that going to be big trouble? Whatever. No, actually, it's the same company, but our company does a ton of stuff. I mean, this radio show is one of the many skillions of things that our company does. And they decided that, wow, when we do podcasts, we call ourselves this. And then when we do radio, we call ourselves this. When we do digital stuff, and they was like, well, we really should just call ourselves one name.
Yep.
Because that's kind of, then everyone will go, oh, all right, sure, I can get this kind of stuff. So we're now Odyssey.
It's pretty exciting, man.
Yeah, I mean, so no more radio.com. It's called Odyssey. If you do listen to us on your app, no problem. The app, you'll notice, has changed. And now instead of saying radio.com, it says Odyssey, which is AUDACY.
So if you already had the app, it's still there. It's just the update will change the name of it for you.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can get by going to Odyssey.com now or getting the Odyssey app. We've known about a lot of the cool stuff that the company has been doing, wanting to do, getting stuff. It seems like every day they're acquiring some cool stuff to add to the brand. And so, from now on, Odyssey is what you're going to hear, and a lot of cool things. You're going to be going, oh, hey, I'm excited because now I don't have to tell everybody, oh, you know that over there? Yeah, that's my company. It is. It's not the same name. I go, I know, but it is still us. But now it's all going to be Odyssey.
Yeah, so all the great content you were getting at radio.com, all the great news, music, of course, sports and podcasts that come from all across the country, including our podcast as well. No longer at radio.com. It's now part of Odyssey.
And I like, we spell it AUDACY because not only we take you on a great Odyssey, but it's audio, so it's Odyssey. See how we did that?
Part audio, part audacious, part Odyssey.
Wait a second, audacious is also part of the equation?
You know it?
Yeah, AUD spells audacious too. Well, look at this. That was the third thing I didn't even know we were. I knew we were audio. I knew we were on a great adventure. I didn't know we were going to be audacious while we went on that adventure. That's pretty awesome.
Do I need to pack a lunch for this adventure?
Yeah, well,
bring that's
snacks. That's what an Odyssey is.
Nice.
I'm just glad we didn't call ourselves Iliad, because that's not my favorite part of that whole thing. Odyssey was the better part. If you
I don't even know how to spell Iliad.
Neither do I. It's a Greek, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, it is Greek.
Yeah, yes. There you go. It's all Greek to me, I tell you. So yeah, Odyssey. So that is go to Odyssey.com, get the Odyssey app, and that's AUDACY. Anything you want to know about us, we're now Odyssey.
Yeah,
how about that?
I'll do the voice for it. Odyssey.
I think you should be the voice for Odyssey.
Hired.
Thank you. Danny's doing the hiring, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, that was part of the change, too.
Exactly. I hire everyone now, yeah.
I don't understand that part of the equation. I love the idea that we have all the great content and we're all one name, but putting Danny in charge, I'm not sure that should have been done.
That's why he changed his name to Dennisy.
Dennisy.
Sorry, that was terrible.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Efforts were made.
This is some of that fine content under the Odyssey umbrella. Yeah, people are like, you can change the name, but that pig still, put all the lipstick on it, you guys are still what you are.
Yes.
Yeah, well, now we're an Odyssey pig, buddy.
We're a polished turd here on Rock.
Yes, we are.
That's the spirit.
You know what? This is exactly the exciting announcement that our company was hoping for. Luckily, they have all those other Odyssey content people that they can focus on them.
Let's edit that part out.
Yeah. Hey, we've got We've got a fine dancer. Her name is Amanda, and she's
her stage name, oddly enough, is Odyssey.
Nice.
Whoa, hey.
I'm kidding. I don't know if it is.
Well, you know what? She's part of our Odyssey umbrella now. She just posted some videos, and she is an exotic dancer. And she posted some videos on TikTok about which celebrities tip well in strip clubs.
I've been a dancer for a little over 6 years. I've worked all over the country, so I do have a little insight on celebrities in the strip club. First, we have Usher. He only had a couple $100 on his tab that he had to pay, and he ended up tipping the cocktail waitress a little over $2,000. So that was really generous. And last, we have Drake. Just like he says in his songs that he throws money at the club, he does make you get a plastic bag and pick that money up.
I mean, now I know if Usher or Drake says, do you want to go to the gentleman's club, you always say yes.
Yeah. But I don't understand the plastic bag part. Why does he make them get a plastic bag so that it's all theirs?
Maybe.
Is that the idea?
I don't know.
That's weird. It seems very OCD.
Why not a paper bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I don't know. You have to use this plastic bag. It's a little, that's weird. I don't know how Usher and Drake feel about, though, being called out. I mean,
I feel like those guys probably have no problem with it. I mean, yeah. I got to imagine that. I know Usher has sang songs that are basically strip club anthems. And I mean, they're not being portrayed in a bad light. And it's not like they're saying they were there yesterday if they're in a relationship where they wouldn't be okay to go to a strip club, you know? Just as past experience, these guys were good tippers.
Good call. They're being portrayed in a good light. You're right. But
or do you think she's breaking the stripper code?
Oh, I do. That's why I brought it up. I mean, I think you just don't say who your custies are.
Yeah.
Right?
I know in the past, on the Mixcast, we've had sometimes some dancers on, and we've always made it a point to bleep out the names when they would share them, because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if that Seahawk player really wants everyone to know that they're a really good tipper or a really bad tipper.
Exactly. I'm with you 100% because, look, whatever. I mean, some people, you don't know their relationship. You also don't know how they're going to look in the community. And that's the other thing is that could affect their business. It shouldn't affect their business, but unfortunately, America is what America is. And people just get mad when you do certain things that are legal. That's the only thing I'm thinking of. But Steve.
So there's no honor amongst strippers anymore, huh?
I guess not, especially because she's diming out some of the people that were cheap celebrity customers. Now, this is not putting them in a good light at all.
Celebrities who do not tip well at the strip club. Mr. Scott, he did not spend any money in the strip club. And it was 4:30 in the morning, so I don't know, maybe that's why. Lil Uzi Vert made the cocktail waitress come get me off the stage, go to his section, and he was saying how he's going to be this huge, big rap star, blah, blah, blah. I didn't believe him. He didn't spend any money. This was back in 2014, 2015. I kind of laugh at this one because he did end up being a big rapper.
I don't recognize those people she mentioned.
One was Scott Disick.
Yeah, he used to be married or dated one of the Kardashians, baby daddy of
Kourtney Kardashian.
He was on one of those shows for a while, the Keeping Up with People.
Yes, he was a total jerk all the time on that show.
Okay, so
he was the one that was always at the club and stuff. I remember.
You guys are talking to me like I know.
Yeah, I know. We're hey, Steve, don't you remember?
Duh.
When you watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
My wife watches it, and I completely I close my eyes. I do not want to watch that.
Okay. See, I get sucked in when I watch it.
I'm going to not make a comment to make me sound like an old person.
Oh, okay.
I think
you just did. About these celebrities.
Well, dude.
I mean, the first two celebrities she talked about that were good guys, those guys that have accomplished something.
Lil Uzi Vert. is actually a very popular rapper.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, all right. At least, all right. So then he's accomplished something. That's fine. But
Is he the one with the gem on his eye? His eyebrows.
Yeah, he got a little vision gem in the middle of his forehead.
Oh, is it like a third eye thing?
It's like a diamond that he put into his skin.
That's for folks that are into that kind of spirituality, that's definitely in the third eye place. So even though he's Lil Uzi, which I'm like, okay, don't know about that name, but the third eye thing at least makes me take notice. Like the guy might be into some spirituality, and that's kind of interesting. I don't know, but then he doesn't tip at he surely doesn't believe in karma.
In all fairness, he wasn't a big rap star at that point.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like, what do you expect from a person that doesn't have much of an income? I mean, those places aren't cheap.
But don't brag about it. I'm going to be famous one day and then not tip. Like, I think that is just so gross.
Maybe he's like, I'm going to be famous one day and I'll come back and I'll pay you.
Then that's fine.
Yeah, you got to say that. Yeah. I mean, the idea that you're going to say I'm going to be anybody. I mean, is that worse than saying you are somebody, Vicky? Because you have to run into a lot of people when you were a server. What's worse? Don't you know who I am, or don't you know who I'm going to be? Which one is it?
Oh, man. I feel like at least don't you know who I'm going to be? It's like, okay, I overserved you, my bad. But like the people who are, don't you know who I am? Because I've had quote unquote celebrities I've served and they were jerks.
Hey, look, I came into your restaurant once, Vicky, and I thought I was really being kind.
I mean,
she said celebrities, BJ.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on. Who do they call celebrity nowadays?
Wow, come on. I mean, I know who I am. That should count for something.
Wow.
Oh man. Well, I think that this Amanda did not really dime out a lot of people. I was expecting more of an expose.
Well, no, she has more that she talks more about other cheap celebrity customers.
Thank you, man, because I totally missed that. Let's hear what she says.
Baltimore Ravens, whole team came in, didn't spend any money, and were super aggressive. Meek Mill comes into the club, orders food, doesn't tip any of the girls, doesn't even tip the cocktail waitress or the food waitress. Not even the food waitress for serving his food. Cheap. J-Lo and A-Rod came into the club, did a room with the dancer, and didn't even tip her. This is when I was working in New York, and she was about to film the movie Hustler, so I only think she went into the club to, learn about strippers.
That's right. I do remember that she was
because she was in that Hustlers movie.
Yeah.
Which, oddly enough, we were watching when my wife's water broke.
That's right.
That's my favorite story.
And you didn't tip your wife at all then.
I didn't. But I took her to the shower room.
Yeah, I don't know who Meek Mill is. Who's
rapper.
Meek Mill? He's a rapper. Yeah. Okay.
And then all of the Baltimore Ravens, like Joe Flacco, back when he was on the team.
Boy, that's pretty lame. I mean, you think somebody, unless it was the Ravens, some of the Ravens that didn't have a whole lot of cash. I mean, but if there was anybody at all that was a star that was making great money, how do you not take care of the situation?
But even the practice squad guys are getting compensated pretty decently.
Yeah, I don't understand why somebody couldn't step up.
I mean, maybe you can't make it rain, but you could at least make it kind of like drizzle.
Yeah, a little drizzle.
Yeah. You got to do something. But J-Lo and A-Rod, that's interesting. She's studying for a role, supposedly. But then what's A-Rod going there for? Unless I feel
support.
Like they might have.
Yeah, right?
I mean, to me, it's just like, wow. I think they're into some freaky stuff, which I think is great as a couple. But how do you not tip? I mean, you're so recognizable.
I don't think they're into freaky stuff, because if they were, they would have an appreciation for what these dancers do, and they would have tipped.
Yeah, I mean, look, if my wife was an actress and she said, hey, for my next role, I need to go to a strip club, and I'm like, I should go with you. It just, they're not safe, so I need to go with you.
True. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that, Steve. I mean, that's what I think we all should use. But I really need to go there and help you out at that place.
You each probably have a net worth of over $100 million. You should probably just unload the cash on these strippers, and not even even if you weren't getting any dances, just to be like, hey, appreciate you letting us peek inside of your world for my wife's acting gig.
Exactly.
Here's several $1,000s.
Yeah. I mean, they not only were they there, not just as customers, but they were actually glomming off them for knowledge, and they got nothing for that? They gave nothing for that?
According to the internet, which we know is always true, Jennifer Lopez's net worth is $400 million, and Alex Rodriguez is $350 million. So they have a few bucks.
$350 million for A-Rod. Good for him. Yeah. I mean, I thought he was having issues for a while, but I guess not.
Well, they did break up, so.
Yeah, but that's still nowhere near Craig Gass's $800 million.
That was $80 million.
Yeah, come on. Only 80.
Well, listen, I'm going to continue to make. I'm going to make that higher before.
One texter brings up a good point. Maybe they just didn't tip her, but they tipped the other dancers. Like, maybe they got the vibe that this girl's going to just, have loose lips, and that she'll share stories.
Phrasing.
That's why you got to tip her even more. I mean, at least you want to be part of the Drake crowd, right? You want to be the positive leak as opposed to the negative leak.
Right.
Phrasing.
Yeah. And if I'm A-Rod, I have a bad reputation. Seriously. Everybody thinks I'm a jerk. I need to always go out of my way to make sure everybody's happy because I have that brand of being a jerk.
I'm sure he cries every night about that perception while he has $300 million.
Yeah, straight into his dollar bills there with that one.
And still gets to bang J-Lo every now and then.
So what you're saying?
Like you said, they didn't break up. They're not engaged anymore, but they're working on their relationship. So I take that as, hey, I want to bang other people.
Every so often we get to bang.
Yeah.
So you guys are basically showing why being a bad guy is not a bad thing. Because, A-Rod is probably, everything that he's done in his life has been really, a lot of it's been unsavory. Mariners fans can't stand him because he just went for the money. Then, of course, there was the whole steroids controversy, which that means, if that's true, then it means that there was cheating. And, all of that is just associated with him. There's just, I try to give him credit for how he shows up because he also, he's a big announcer for ESPN. And it's just like, man, you're hated by a lot of people. I try to judge him by his work that he does on ESPN, which I think he does a good job. But now I hear this story and I'm back to hating him again.
No, don't get me wrong. Like if I had to pick, I would be more of a Drake type of person at a strip club than an A-Rod type of person. Like if I'm walking into a strip club and I'm a multi-millionaire, or even just a multi-millionaire, if I'm slumming
it. See, you're a great guy.
I'm walking.
You're just slumming, yeah.
The minute I walk in, I'm throwing dollars in the air to almost like it's confetti cannons, announcing my entrance into the strip club.
Oh, yeah, you're going to go wrestling style. You're going to make it over the top.
Yeah, play Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme or Sexy Boy, the Shawn Michaels theme.
Wow.
Money going everywhere.
You just added something to my bucket list that I didn't know I needed.
Walk into a strip club and just make it rain?
Yes.
Before you even say hi to anyone.
Yeah, just...
Instead of doves flying out behind you, it's money. I get it.
Right?
Oh, dude. Come on. That's old school. That's the rich guy spreading it around.
And then you have all your buddies waiting as you walk through, and as you're walking through, they're throwing more money. So it's just like this endless barrage of dollar bills flying in the air until you finally take your seat.
Yeah. I like that.
That is pretty awesome.
Or you could be like Joey D's over there. He just makes houses with the dollar bills for the strippers to do.
What?
Huh?
Oh, you didn't
We
know
went
that?
to a strip club, and Joe decides that he's going to make houses with the dollar bills in front of him, and then the strippers come over and have to destroy the houses with their...
Do they have to remove the roof or something like that?
Yeah,
it's like Godzilla.
And then all of a sudden I'm sitting there, and there's a house in front of me, and I'm like, oh, this is happening.
Was that in Portland?
Yes, it was.
Oh my God, I remember this.
Wow,
Yeah.
yes.
Nice.
Stripper Godzilla is something that I never realized I needed.
BJ, that was your bachelor party that you didn't go to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys had a great time. Wow, that is, my son does that?
Yeah.
Well, there's certain things I just didn't know about him. And
we need to bring your son in for this.
See, I always have seen people do the dollar bill into like a little tent. I've seen that, so it doesn't just...
Joe makes like a full-on log cabin with 4 rooms inside.
Wow. Okay, then. Well, what do you
have to say for yourself, Joe?
It's pretty fun. I suggest everyone do it.
Yeah, there we go.
How did the girls feel about it?
I think they looked a little puzzled because they're not really sure why I'm building a house, but it gets you attention, so it works out pretty well.
Now, what if they come over and try and take the money before you finish building the house? Do you reprimand them?
Oh yeah, there's a unwritten contract, an agreement that when the money's there, it doesn't get touched until I approve.
Okay, this doesn't sound weird at all.
Well, yeah, you need the building inspectors to go in to make sure that it's a valid structure.
Right. Yeah. Perfect. Is it too late to give my son up for adoption? Is it too late?
Maybe.
All right.
Fair now, are these with dollar bills, or are you doing...
Always dollar bills, which is why I hated that one strip club we went to that wanted me to only buy $2 bills.
Yes. He was very mad about it.
Is that the Diablo place?
Casa Diablo.
Jeez, he did not tip any of the strippers.
He just did little studio apartments for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, my house is half as big when it costs $2.
It's a Seattle apartment.
Okay, this is a very disturbing story that I would like to say that Steve's son told.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
Well, I got a question. Why would a guy watch the same movie 191 times? Well, I'll tell you why. At 8:18 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load, terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. There's a Florida movie fan who broke a Guinness World Record by seeing Avengers Endgame in movie theaters nearly 200 times, which means, Rev, he's a bigger Thanos fan than you.
No, it's because Endgame is not the Thanos movie. Infinity War is the Thanos movie.
Jeez, BJ, get with it.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, wow, okay.
You're so ignorant.
Yeah.
The man's name is Ramiro, and he said he was inspired to seek the Guinness World Record for the most cinema productions attended of the same film after the former record holder saw Avengers Infinity War, the previous film in the franchise, 103 times. So how many times did you see Infinity War, Rev?
Probably about 7 or 8 times.
Yeah, not 103, so sorry. You are not a Thanos fan.
Dude, I'm just trying to quick math. That's nearly, because he said he saw it in the theater, so it's not like you watched it on a streaming thing or a DVR or a DVD where you could keep watching and not lose money. I mean, that's about a couple $1,000s that he spent just to watch this movie over and over and over again.
And I don't know if we can do the math, but with as far as he said he did it in 90 days. So he watched it 191 times in 90 days. Which means you had to watch it more than once a day, that's for sure. I just don't know.
Sometimes 3 times a day.
Yeah. Wow. So many times.
I can't.
And he said, the most difficult part about this attempt was giving up my social life with my family, the gym, and managing my work hours and screening times at the theaters.
Did he get popcorn each time? Because then missing the gym is probably a really bad thing for him.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, apparently it took some time for Guinness to process his application and go over his submitted evidence, which included photos and ticket stubs.
Oh.
But he was smart enough to do that. He was smart enough to have the photos and ticket stubs, so at least then he didn't have to go, oh, man, you're not going to give me credit for this?
Yeah, I guess any knucklehead could be like, oh, I've seen it 200 times, and you can't prove it, so it's... How do you... Unless Guinness is sitting there with him, which I doubt they're going to do that.
See, Guinness... probably back when they first started, people were doing things that were impressive. And now they got to go get these kind of submissions and go, so I guess we have to say it's a world record.
That's somewhat impressive. The movie's 3 hours long. So he saw what? How many times?
191.
191. That basically comes out to a lot.
Thank you for the math.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could maybe math that. That didn't work out at all.
He was trying to come up with an equation, and he really came up with nothing.
And I lost it.
I thought I had the answer, and you were acting as if you were going to figure it out, and then just randomly come up with a perfect number.
That's what I thought, because we busted him for trying to sound smart by just looking on the internet. I thought that's exactly what he was doing there.
We're on to
Well,
you.
spending a little time doing the math, it looks like it's about 573 hours, which would be basically 24 days.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. So he spent 24 days Basically 24-hour days, though it took him 90 days to actually get it done with his schedule.
One texter says, when I was a kid, I watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure at least 128 times just because I thought it was awesome.
Wow. I don't know if I can say that I've watched any movie that much. I know I've watched a lot of movies multiple times, but boy, it seems like a lot.
What's the one, if you could think of like one or two movies that you've seen that you're positive, if you had to tally up, those are the movies that you watch the most?
Oh, definitely The Matrix.
The Matrix, yeah. For me, definitely Rocky.
Yeah.
Rocky and Miracle, the hockey Disney movie. I think those two movies I've probably watched more than any other movie I've seen.
I would say the Star Wars movies. You know, and I would probably go with Star Wars itself because that was the first one. Mm-hmm. I always see, because I like to watch all of the movies before the next one comes out. So in that case, Star Wars has been seen more than anything since it was the first movie.
What about Rev?
For me,
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, that one I can easily say I've seen over 20 times. But probably the movie that I've seen the most, I would imagine, would be Aladdin. Because my younger brother and sister, they're about a decade younger than me, and so it was that Disney time for them, and that was one of those movies that was on constant repeat because kids will just watch it forever.
And it's a good one, though. As an adult, you still can appreciate it.
Yeah, it is actually a good one, so that was kind of a relief on that.
I don't know if I don't know. Should we even ask Danny?
Oh, it's Titanic.
Actually, no, because that movie is so long.
Old school.
For me, it's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because
I didn't even think about Christmas movies, like Christmas Vacation and Elf, and I might have seen those up there too a bunch.
Well, and for me too, I don't discriminate for the time of year, so I just watch Nightmare Before. I probably watch Nightmare Before Christmas once a week, along with Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And
okay,
just some like random movies because I don't watch new movies, so I just have a bunch on my DVR that I just turn on. So American Pie Reunion.
It's just like comfort food.
Yeah, I don't actually watch the movies, or I don't watch TV. I just watch movies over and over again.
Wow,
great.
That's completely out of my viewing zone. That's nuts.
One texter says Tommy Boy at least 50 times. Another person says The Sandlot, and then my favorite, I watched Debbie Does Dallas at least 200 times.
There we go.
I don't know if you finished the movie though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Good call.
I've watched the opening credits. How many times? Yeah, right. I want to try to guess Vicky. I always guess this because usually it is the thing, but I got to go with The Crow.
Yep.
Funny enough, no. Because it is one of my favorite movies, but I only watch it on special occasions because I don't want to ruin the magic, if you will.
Oh, you don't want to Danny it.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think, I know as a kid, the one that I irritated my mom with over and over again was The Little Mermaid.
Aw.
Yeah.
As an adult, I'm trying to think. It's either Ratatouille, Wreck-It Ralph, or Pirates of the Caribbean. Ratatouille, my dad, his nickname for me, since I was a little baby, is Ratita.
Ratita, the little rat.
It was a little rat because I love cheese and I had a toy rat. So I'm a little rat, little mouse. So anything rat related, and I love cooking, so it was just like the perfect movie for us. And it's a fun movie. You can rewatch it over and over again if you're an adult, if you're a kid.
That one's on all the time in our house. My girlfriend loves that movie.
Ratatouille.
Yeah, because she loves cooking, and so that movie is just like
cooking rats.
That too.
It's a rat that's cooking, not them cooking rats.
Yeah, that was a whole different movie.
Yeah,
Steve.
very distinct. Wow.
Honestly, I think once Steve gets to the Disney film portion of childhood for Tatum, you're going to really love Ratatouille.
Yes,
I look forward to that time because my wife is not a big fan of watching movies repeatedly. So this is like kind of like a fun troll opportunity because she's going to have to learn how to like watching the same thing. Like right now, she's even with some of the shows on Universal Kids. She's like, we just saw this one like last week. I'm like, get used to it. This is just how it's going to be.
Sometimes you'll just have to watch the same thing like literally over and over and over again in the same hour.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, unless baby Tater Tot is like her mom and it's like, I've seen that, I'm done.
I've never heard of a kid that
doesn't
watch things repeatedly.
You have to hope that happens because it at least keeps them entertained so you get to take a breath. I mean, as much as you may not want to see that over and over again, you want to breathe and take a rest more that you'll deal with that.
I hope she really likes like WrestleMania 3 personally, and we can just watch that over.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, Hogan slammed Andre in that one. Come on.
could happen.
That was a good one.
It goes in stages, too. I feel like Lily was to the point of where for 6 months she would watch The Greatest Showman and knew all the songs and everything like that. And the other day I asked her, I was like, do you still want to watch? And she's like, nah, now it's the Goofy movie again. And that's going to be another 6 months of that.
That's a good one, though.
Oh, it's amazing.
Well, we've talked about
Best movie ever.
Yeah, you guys are using the wrong adjective for the Goofy movie, okay? I mean, I'm sure it's enjoyable, but it's not, we've determined it's not in the top 10 of Disney movies, guys. So, yeah, you really got to expose your kid to better movies. That's all I'm saying.
What, like Star Trek?
Well, listen, that's a good start, Steve. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of other stuff out there. I would start with Starship Troopers. Joey didn't hurt Joey at all.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, that didn't give him nightmares. So start with Starship Troopers, something light.
Jeez.
A light movie like that.
Something Forrest Gump. I've seen it hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Whenever Forrest Gump's on, I'll watch it for a little bit of time because it's always fun.
And it's always on these days.
That too.
I don't know why. It's always on somewhere.
It's got such a good soundtrack to it, too.
I don't know what happened to me that movie hasn't hit me the way it hit everybody else. I mean, I enjoyed it when I watch it, but I don't really have a desire to see it again. And when it does come up on whatever, of course, I never watch anything just to watch it. I always have appointment television, whatever I'm doing, but I don't have a desire.
This is not in my appointment. Goodbye, Forrest.
Well, yeah, you guys, I mean, it's amazing how many people just turn the TV on to see what's on. I always know what's on because I've got everything DVR'd. I never watch anything just randomly. It's always got to be something that I know is recorded or a show I've heard about. I never just go, let me just randomly see what's on.
I mean, you watch live sports, though.
Not anymore, Steve. I actually record my sports and I watch it when I want to watch it.
Fair.
Obviously, I know I have to watch it relatively soon after it's been on.
Because you'll get spoiled.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, there are certain things like Seahawks games or the Super Bowl that I think, it's kind of fun to watch live. But anymore, really, I don't think anything I watch is live.
You know what's weird? We were just talking about The Crow, and I just went on Twitter, and I'm looking at the little tab that says what's trending, and The Crow is trending for some reason. I'm not even sure why.
Vicky, how can it be trending and you don't know about this?
And the problem is you go on and you click on the hashtag, and everyone's just talking about, we don't know why The Crow is trending, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I was trying to figure it out,
This is the movie, or is it just a Crow in general?
No, The Crow, the movie.
Wow. I wonder if it's a special date or something. That's so weird.
I have no idea why but now everyone's just sharing random gifs of Brandon Lee and random little clips from The Crow.
And every once in a while, there's a little picture of Sting.
Yes, the wrestler.
Yeah. This is my Crow.
And then people are bringing up how great the soundtrack was, which I can't disagree. I mean, that's a great soundtrack.
Both of them were really good soundtracks.
Well, even there's the soundtrack, but then the score is also really awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But I did a little digging, and apparently tomorrow will be the anniversary of Brandon Lee's death.
That's probably why.
That might be it.
Oh. Okay, well, you'll have that.
I solved it.
Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel starred in the 2014 comedy titled Sex What?
Files.
No.
Sex Tape.
Yes.
The Sex Files was a
great parody.
Yeah. It was really good parody. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.